The ultimate DJ skill isn't just mixing, it is about reading the room. It's knowing exactly what to play for any crowd at any moment. But here's the problem. How do you keep everyone happy when your audience ranges from first-timers experiencing the scene for the very first time to seasoned clubbers who are there every single week? The pressure is immense. Play it too safe and you bore your regulars. Get too niche and you might alienate a new audience. It's this constant push and pull, and most DJs struggle to find that delicate balance. How do you navigate that expectation and still deliver a memorable set? Today we're diving in with Miss Mada, a resident at Miami's legendary Space nightclub. She's mastered this exact challenge, moving diverse crowds night after night. Get ready for a masterclass in crowd psychology, set planning, and a real-time adaptation. Miss Mada reveals her secrets on how to turn any dance floor into an unforgettable experience. The fact that Space is such a destination around the world, it's known for what it is. So considering the fact that you have people who are there for the first time and it's like the highlight of their trip, but then you also have people who are going to Space every single weekend, how does that come into play when you're planning your sets, knowing that there's they're in like two different stratospheres almost?
Well, I mean, people that are there for the first time, I think it's the shock factor and like the element of, wow, I'm at Space for the first time. And you don't want to be disappointing when you're playing music, but you also, there's a happy medium, I feel like. You don't want to play the same sets every single weekend because you have the regulars. I think there's a happy medium of keeping your sets fresh and also just being creative. It's a constant battle of the push and pull of like staying fresh with your music, but also not being too niche, I guess you would say, just, I guess, keeping it accessible in a sort of way.
And it's like, how do you find that balance? Are you also reacting in real time to like how people are kind of acting out in the crowd? Are you taking that into consideration?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you get excited for a track that you think sounds amazing, and then you play it and it ends up being like, nobody, like everybody's kind of like, oh, I see your point, but okay, yeah, like next one. Because you want to have, like, especially for the Terrace, which is a huge room, and you like having a good reaction where people are like, excited for the crescendo and the drop and the tension. You don't want to keep playing every track like that. But I think a lot of the good music now, people kind of react to it the way that they do. I think that people are more open now. And being accessible doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. I think we don't give the crowd enough credit. I think that now more than ever, they're a little bit more educated. I feel I can play a lot more cooler stuff. Like right now, I'm playing stuff from these UK kids that are like 21 years old and like maybe 1,000 followers on Instagram. And every time I play their stuff, it gets a great reaction.
I do think people are in a certain headspace going to Space too. Like, I'm here to have the best time ever. And so maybe there's something about, I don't know, just like putting yourself in that mindset that like makes you a little bit more open.
Right.
Versus what they might experience in their own hometown or whatever. That's really interesting. And so you just said that people are a little bit more open now. Is that something that you've experienced kind of like over the past 9 years?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess our regulars you see the same regulars every week to week, so they know the songs already.
Yeah.
It's really impressed me because the crowd kind of cycles through, like it's, like some people get older and they don't party anymore, but then the new generation kind of comes in, they find out Space, they find out who Pasa is, and like, that entire niche crowd comes in and they're excited for the music. They already know the tracks that like I had just gotten like a week ago. They already know what it is and they've been playing it on Spotify or whatever. It's interesting now with this I don't want to say new generation, but I guess this new cycle where they're a little bit more educated than I am. And it's a little bit intimidating, but I love that because then it makes me strive to dig deeper and find fresher talent, which I have been doing. I've been playing a lot of, like I said earlier, these kids from the UK, and I'm trying to book them and bring them to Miami. but their music is amazing. And now they're getting picked up by the bigger players, I've noticed.
It's interesting because you are in a unique position too, where I feel like at a place like Space, you have more authority to be more experimental and to push boundaries versus a resident at a club that maybe gets a mix of a top 40 crowd that can't, and that's a different world we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely feels that way. I mean, we don't get me wrong. We do get our crowds where, they're there for the headliner and the headliner only. And then as soon as they're finished playing, there's a mass exodus. So it depends on the headliner. I'm not going to say any names, but you're hoping to make an impact in some shape or form, regardless of like what you're there for. Like, for example, there's this one kid who comes really early. His name is Max. He comes from West Palm Beach and he uses the Bright Line train to get there. And the train ends like around midnight. So he gets there early no matter what. But he gets there early because he enjoys the music. He's always the first one on the dance floor. And half the time when he stays, he's usually like the last one there too. And he said like every time he's there early for when I'm opening to like the bartenders and like the furniture, he's there on the dance floor just like by himself dancing. And when the club is filling up, it's usually like a middle school dance where people are kind of like surrounding the dance floor. But it's just him dancing there. And that's how I got to meet him. And I told him like, dude, like you've been buying tickets and coming early for a really long time. Like, please ask me for a guest list and I got you.
Yeah.
And he finally asked me for a guest list after like maybe a couple months of like telling him like, dude, like I don't want to keep finding you in the middle of the dance floor. Like thank you. But please let me treat you.
It's cute because he probably like worked up the nerve to finally ask. And it's really amazing when you meet people like that because they're genuinely in the scene for the right reasons and he just wants to have a good time. That's nice that you reached out to him.
Yeah, he's a fan. He knows the bartenders. The bartenders know him. They love him, like people like that. We need more patrons like that for sure. And he buys it, like, sometimes I'll tell him, like, oh, like, I bought the ticket months ago. Like, he buys tickets really early.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a true fan right there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We need more Maxes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or I'm sure there's plenty of them. We just don't know their stories.
Absolutely.